Alright, so I did 2011 free response, section 2, part B, number 3, no calculator. So the first part A says, write the equation for the tangent line at x equals 1/2. So I picked the equation f of x equals 8x cubed because the other line is y equals pi x. Y equals sine pi x, and the derivative at 1/2 is 0. So going back to 8x cubed, I took the derivative of that, which is 24x squared, and then I found the slope at the point 1/2 by plugging in 1/2 into this equation. And then I found that f prime of 1/2 equals 6, so I took that over here, and I used my point, which is this right up here, and I took my slope, and there's the equation of your line. And then in part B, it says find the area of R, so we see that the top, the outer radius is sine pi x, which is right here, and then we have 8x cubed right here, which is the inner. So we did the outer, which is sine pi x minus the inner, or taking the integral of that from 0 to 1/2, because the bounds are from 0 to 1/2. And then I took the integral by hand because it was a no calculator question. So we had a u sub over here. Can't forget our u sub. And u is pi x. And then the du would be pi x, or pi dx, excuse me. And then you have to divide by pi to get dx by itself. So took the derivative of sine pi x, which is negative cosine pi x over pi, and then subtracted the derivative of 8x cubed. And then I plugged in 1/2 in for x, and then I did negative cosine 1/2 x over pi, blah, blah, blah. We got to here. So you're just plugging in the points. So you do 1/2 here, then minus 0, and then you plug in 0. So then we got to 1 over pi minus 1/8. And then part C says, do not evaluate an integral expression for the volume of the solid when R is rotated about the horizontal line y equals -1. So we had to set up a little radius outer, radius inner kind of thing. And so you can see that in this drawing. So I drew the line y equals 1. That's the dotted line right about there. And so the radius outer would be this line, 1 minus 8x cubed, which is this line right there, that. And then radius inner would be 1 minus sine pi x. So then we know that the radius would be pi r squared, but since we have radius outer and a radius inner, we have to do the radius outer minus the radius inner for that. So then what we did, we put our pi outside over here, and then integral from 0 to 1/2 because those are the bounds. Then we put radius outer minus radius inner, and then of course it's squared because it's pi r squared. That's how you do that problem.